Most people think interconnection is a technical step that happens after a site is secured and designed. It is not. Interconnection is the process of securing permission and capacity to connect a project to the electrical grid, and it is the single biggest timing risk in digital infrastructure development. The misconception is that interconnection is paperwork. In reality, it is the gatekeeper that determines whether a project can exist at all and when. By interconnection, I mean the formal process through which a project is studied, approved, and physically connected to generation and transmission infrastructure. This includes capacity allocation, system impact studies, upgrades, and final energization. In traditional real estate, utilities are service providers. In digital infrastructure, they are de facto partners whose decisions shape timelines, scope, and feasibility. This distinction changes everything about how land should be evaluated and capital should be deployed. What actually constrains decisions is not demand for compute or availability of capital. It is queue position and system capacity. Interconnection queues are long because grids were not designed for rapid, concentrated load growth. Each new project triggers studies that assess reliability and downstream impacts. Those studies take time and often reveal upgrade requirements that were invisible at the start. A site can appear viable until interconnection analysis exposes years of delay or millions in unexpected cost. The real choke points are controlled by entities whose mandate is system stability, not development velocity. Utilities must comply with regulatory frameworks that prioritize reliability and fairness across all users. Regional operators manage congestion and transmission planning across vast geographies. These actors do not accelerate because a project is well capitalized or strategically important to a single developer. Their timelines reflect physics, planning cycles, and public oversight. This is why interconnection cannot be forced through execution alone. Incentives consistently mislead smart actors. Developers focus on land control because it feels decisive. Investors assume that capital can solve timing risk. Brokers market sites as power-ready based on proximity rather than confirmed capacity. Each behavior is understandable. Together, they obscure the real constraint. The common assumption is that once land is secured, interconnection will follow. The reality is that interconnection determines whether land was worth securing in the first place. The contrast with traditional real estate is stark. In conventional development, utilities respond to projects. In digital infrastructure, projects wait on utilities. The assumption is that infrastructure will scale to meet demand. In practice, infrastructure scales according to long-term planning processes that move independently of market urgency. This is why smaller projects with earlier interconnection certainty can outperform larger projects still waiting in queue. Timing outweighs size. Certainty outweighs ambition. The consequence of misunderstanding interconnection is not delay alone. It is strategic error. Capital is tied up in sites that cannot be energized on a useful timeline. Design advances ahead of certainty. Expectations harden before constraints are resolved. The mistake is not underestimating demand. The mistake is treating interconnection as an administrative step instead of the project itself. Interconnection is not a technical detail at the end of development. It is the decision that determines whether development ever truly begins.